Welcome back to Fox 2 News on this Saturday morning. We want to welcome a special guest today, Steve Morgan, the Executive Director of Voices for Children. We're talking about an agency that helps kids who are in foster care and what a need there is for this, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's almost 1,800 children today in the greater St. Louis area in foster care.
And so what does Voices for Children do?
So we advocate for these children and provide legal services for them while they're in protective custody.
And you are looking for people to help?
Yes, we have a cadre of over 200 volunteers currently. We need about 400, and these volunteers are called court-appointed special advocates. So they go through 30 hours of training and then are actually sworn in as an officer of the court. And they advocate for the children's best interests, not only in the court, but also in the community. And the community would include therapists, doctors, schools, medical professionals, etc.
Talk about what it's like for a lot of these kids to go through this system.
Well, just imagine 7 o'clock at night, there's a knock on your door, and you've been going through abuse and the nightmare of neglect already. But there's a uniformed officer and a case manager there, and they look at you and they say, pack your bag, get your teddy bear, you're coming with me. And these children they go through a second trauma when they're removed from their homes and they're placed into the foster care system. So what Voices and many other agencies in the greater St. Louis area do is come around these children while they're in the foster care program and make sure that they're receiving the court-ordered services, but most importantly that we are focused on their well-being and their outcomes. So while they're in foster care, do they thrive? Are they connecting, learning, that sort of thing?
And you're advocating for foster care children in both St. Louis City and St. Louis County?
That's correct. We operate out of the 21st Circuit, which is St. Louis County, and the 22nd, which is St. Louis City. We're actually one of the oldest casa programs in the United States. We started in the county in 1980 and then the city in 1984.
Well, I know there is a great need for help. The system is just overwhelmed the way it is right now. How can people find out more information? How can they volunteer? How can they support your agency?
Well, there's the most traditional ways. They can visit our website, which is voices-stl.org. They can contact us directly. There's phone numbers and other contact information on that. But typically, as any nonprofit, we're looking for funding. But most importantly, the casa, the court-appointed special advocate volunteer, is part of the backbone of the service that we provide.
And there's some training session dates there up on the screen for people who do want to go through and be an advocate for these children who need someone to represent their best interests.
Yes. So just to give you, do I have just a second longer? So one of our employees has been with us for 15 years. We just celebrated that yesterday. And in those 15 years, he has serviced over 700 children, nearly 200 CASA's advocate volunteers. He's reunified 80 children with their families and helped set up 30 adoptions. And so what St. Louis needs to understand is that in the St. Louis community, every single day, there are nearly 480 agencies and organizations that specifically dedicate their efforts in child well-being and child welfare in St. Louis. A lot of people working.
Steve, we appreciate it. Voices for Children. We'll be right back on Fox 2 News Saturday morning. Stay with us.